Hi YouTube, it's me, CDB here, and I have my deck kind of video to show you my deck, kind of like a profile-ish. So this is the main deck right here. So the first card in my deck is 3 G-Nex Recycled. Kind of use it it's a 1-star tuner, and I can use these to fake for G-Nex controller, because some of my cards in my extra deck need G-Nex controller, so G-Nex Recycle. Okay, Next I have G-Nex Solar. It's a 7-star. Good, because it says you can normal summon this card by attributing 1 G-Nex monster, inflicting 500 damage to opponents each time a face-up G-Nex monster you control is sent to the graveyard. And really good, and is 2500 attack. Next card is, I have 2 next cards. Jirac Tyrannus. You can tribute 1 dinosaur type monster to have this card gain 500 attack. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to graveyard, this card gains 300 attack. So this is potentially can like sweep through your opponent's entire deck. 2 of them. That's very useful. Next, Jirac is good for stalling, for defense, for walling. This card is attacked. Return the attacking monster to the hand after damage calculation, and this card gains defense equal to the returned monster's level times 100. So if like a level 4 attacks you with 1400 attack, he gets sent back to his hand, and if not just because it doesn't get destroyed, and you get an extra 400 defense as 1900. So that's pretty good. Next I have Jirac. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon 1 Jirac monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck. Cannot declare attack this turn, but is useful. Next I have 3 Jirac Protops. This card gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls, and it's useful because it's 1700 already, and yeah, it's just pretty useful. Next I have a Jirac Villo. It's hecka good. When this face-up attack was a monster is attacked, and is destroyed by battle sent to graveyard, you can make special summon 1 Jirac monster with 1700 or less attack from your deck. Sorry. Pretty good. I could summon a lot of Jiracs from that. Next, Jirac Monoloth. 3-star tuner. This card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. So it's really good, even though it only has 1500 attack. Next, I have Jirac Iguanon. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can select 1 set card your opponent controls and return it to their hand. Not that good, but it's pretty good. 2 G-Nex Turbines. All famous G-Nex monsters you gain 400 attacks. That just makes your G-Nexes hecka strong. So yeah. Next I have 3 G-Nex Furnaces. And these furnaces are, it says if you control a face-up G-Nex controller, you can normal summon this card without tributing. So, and I'm going to have a couple of G-Nex controllers faced up. Next, I have Flamevol Grunica. The fact is, when this card destroys a monster by battle, it sends it to the graveyard, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the level of destroy the monster times 200. Pretty good for burn. Next I have 3 Mist Valley Falcons. I just used this for a wind and winged beast. It's also pretty decent, 4-star, 200,000 attack. But then the effect is this card cannot declare an attack unless you turn one card you control to the hand, which can be useful and can also be unuseful, because if you have something like a card that gets effect every time you play it, it'll be kind of useful. Okay. Next, I have Mosaic Manticore. It's a 8-star with 2,800 attack. Its effect is during the standby phase of your next turn after you tribute summon this card, special summon the monster tributed to summon it from your graveyard. They cannot declare attack and different effects are negated. But it's useful for stalling out or if you want to tribute them. Next I have a Spear Dragon. 1,900 attack. Trample effect or Pierce effect. It can, if this card's attack is greater than defense monster's defense, your opponent still takes life point damage. And it's also good for stalling because it can go back to defense mode, so you don't take any damage if this card will be destroyed. Oops, sorry. Then I have 3 GX controllers, simple tuners for my GXs. Oh, so sorry, I bumped. Oh, part. Then I have a Flameville Fire Dog, useful, 900 attack, 200 defense. And this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. You can special summon one fire monster with 200 or less defense from your deck, except Flameville Fire Dog. And some of my cards do, like this one, has 200 defense. When you control the Alley of Justice monster, this card gains 400 attack. Oh no, not way too useful, but oh well, useful enough. Fabled Cross. When this card is discarded to the graveyard, select one level 4 or lower Fabled monster from your graveyard, except this card, and special summon it. Miss Valley Apex Avian, 7-star. When an effect is activated, you can select one face of Miss Valley card control. Turn that Miss Valley card to the owner's hand, negate the effect's activation, and destroy the card whose effect was activated. GX Army. When this card is tribute summoned by a GX monster, you can destroy one card your opponent controls. Last but not least, Guardian Angel Joan. I have this because if I can heal myself with this one. When this card destroys the monster and sends it to the graveyard as a result of battle, increase your life points by the amount equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. So really good for healing. Last but not least, the Wicked Avatar, which you should all know. Yeah. If you don't know what Wicked Avatar is, I don't know what to tell you. Probably even in the dictionary. Just kidding. Remote Revenge, pretty good. Activate only when a monster you control is targeted by a spell, trap, or effect monster's effect that destroys one monster on the field. Switch your target to an appropriate monster your opponent controls. It's like if they use like a Raikegi break on like your red Nova Dragon, you could use that and then target it on their Shooting Star Dragon or something. I don't know. Next, I have Scrapbound Scarecrow, the best staller there is. Then I have Sekaretsu's Armor. Destroys the attacking monster when they attack. Draining Shield. You gain the life points of when the opponent's attacks. The monster's attack becomes you can gain the life points equal to the amount of the monster's attack. Yeah. So useful. Death Tornado destroys one spell or trap card in the field. You can set one. Nature's Reflection. Any damage that can be done, what would be done to your life points, would be done to their life points. Cemetery Bomb. Count the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard and do the number of cards and 100 damage to their life points. As you can see, I'm pretty burned. Oh, another Death Tornado. I don't know how that got reordered. I have Threatening Roar, stalls their attack. I have Compulsory Evacuation Device, sends monster back to the hand. Ordeal of Traveler is very useful when they attack. They have to guess a card in your hand, either a monster, trap, or spell. If they guess wrong, attacking monster goes back to the hand. If they get it right, continue on attacking. Then Trap Hole, everyone should know. Bottomless Trap Hole is kind of the same thing, except it has to be over 1,500 attack, and it removes from play. Okay, next are my spell cards. Tribute to Doom, discard a card, destroy a monster. Fullest Burial, select one monster card from your deck and send it to the graveyard. It's good for the next card I have is Monster Reborn. Reborn, a monster. It's limited, it's only, I can only have one. Card Destruction, discard all cards in your hand, and then draw the same number of cards you discarded. Well, you and your opponent. It can be a Jack Mord, very useful. Monster equipped with this card cannot attack. Destroy the equipped monster at the end of the second turn of the player controlling the monster. At that time, this card is returned to the owner's hand. So, this card is really useful, equipped to your opponent's monster, and they cannot attack, and then it destroys them. Next is Mechamorph. If your last one is greater than half, it halves the attack. If it's less than half, it double stack. So if it's less than half, use it on your own guy. If it's greater than half, use it on the other guy, on your opponent's guy. It's pretty logical. Causing 800 damage to your opponent. Hand Destruction. Each player discards 2 cards from the hand and draws 2 cards. MST and United We Stand. It's pretty useful. Good monster gains 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. Yeah, so that's it from the spells. Next to my next to the extra deck, Fabled Valkyrus. One Fabled Tuner. I had Fabled Crust. I think somewhere in there. I think. Wait. Sorry. Trying to fight over a cold. Yeah, right here. That's Fabled Tuner. Then one or more non-tuner monsters. It's pretty good because once per turn you can discard one Fiend type monster to draw one card. It has 2,900 attacks, that's good. Then I have Nateria Leo Drake, just one Earth Tuner, and one or more non-Earth Tuners. No, non-tuner Earths. 3,000, I have 2 of those. I Justice Field Marshal, they're really good, 2,900 as 9 stars. 1 tuner, 2 or more non-tuners. This card cannot be special summoned except by synchro summon. When this card attacks a face-down defense position monster, destroys it by battle, it sends it to the graveyard, draw 1 card. Thermal Genus, really genius. GNX is really good. GNX controller and 1 more non-tuner fire monsters. This card gains 200 attack for each fire monster in your graveyard. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each GNX monster in your graveyard. Materia Beast, 1 Earth Tuner, 1 more non-Earth Tuners. While this card is face up on the field, you can send the top 2 cards from your deck to graveyard to negate the activation of spell card and destroy it. Ally just a Decisive Armor. 1 tuner, 2 more non-tuners. Really good. It destroys a lot of stuff. Too many effects for me to read. If you want, you can read that. Pause it. Okay. Then I have Jirac Giganoto. It's the best thing for the Jirac part of my deck. One tuner, one more non-tuner dinosaur types. All face-up Jirac monsters are 200 attack for each monster in the grave. Jirac monster in the graveyard. Vindicate are Genix. One Genix tuner and one more non-tuner wind monsters. Your opponent cannot select this card as attack target. If this card destroys the opponent's monster by battle, you can add one Genix monster from deck to your hand. Fabled Raging, one Fabled tuner and one more non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, and if you have one or less cards in your hand, you can draw until you have 2 cards in your hand. Genix Genix controller, one more non-tuner Genix monsters. Once per turn, if you control a face-up level 4 or lower Genix monster, you can switch the original attack and defense of this card until the end phase, for as long as you control face-up level 4 or lower Genix monster. Then Mist Valley Thunderlord, level 7, 1 tuner, 1 more non-tuner Mist Valleys. I have a lot of Mist Valleys. Once per turn, you can select one card you control, return it to the hand, and this card gains 500 attack until the end phase. The effect can be activated during each other player's turn, and this card can go to 3,100. So that's my deck. If anyone wants to do a webcam battle with me, duel with me, go ahead, just PM me. I'll give my email address so we can do a webcam duel. And that's about it. So most of these cards are for trade too. So yeah, see you guys.